Okay, I've failed a lot this year. Let's do a recap. I competed at the Pacific Northwest Regional Yo-Yo Competition, changed out. I got 4th. I then competed at the Rocky Mountain Yo-Yo Contest. I also got 4th. I then competed at the Midwest Regional Yo-Yo Contest. I actually thought I was gonna win that one. I got 3rd. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, all of those fails were relatively unimportant compared to Worlds. But we'll get to that. In my defense, in today's hustle era, we're almost encouraged to fail. You hear it all the time. Fail fast, fail often. Move fast and break things, Zuckerberg says. The message being, the more you fail, the more you learn. But what I've come to realize is that not all failures are useful, especially if you keep failing at the same thing. You see, the first failure is forgivable, but if you fail again in the same way, that's a waste of time. How many disappointing contest results do you need to learn? How many videos have to flop until you change your strategy? How many exams do you need to fail to realize you need to study differently? They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I'd argue that's a better definition of stupidity. Now, if there's one thing that all of these failures have taught me this year is that not all failures are made equal. The more effort you put in to a failure kind of correlates to how much you learn. Now, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, all of those contests that I lost, I knew that deep down, I didn't really deserve to win. Now, I had the intention to win, and I didn't, so therefore it's a failure. But I didn't try my absolute best. You see, I wanted to win PNWR, but my 3-minute routine, I basically made up the last minute of it on the day. Like, there was inefficient combos and rails and stuff. It's like, you can't expect to win with that low level of preparation. I wanted to win the Rocky Mountain Yo-Yo Contest, but again, I was still kind of reconfiguring my routine like a couple days before. And like, again, I was up against high level players. You just can't not be prepared and face off against a more prepared opponent and expect to win. I get that. If there was one competition I thought I was gonna win, it was MWR. But the routine, while consolidated, wasn't fully fleshed out and practiced to a high degree, and I just bombed it on the day, which is understandable. And so even though I technically failed all those 3 times, I didn't really learn anything because I knew on some degree that the effort I put in wasn't good enough to execute on the strategy that I had. Now, with Worlds, that was a different story. If you guys haven't seen the video about it, I uploaded it to my main channel. Now yes, winning the competition outright, overall 1A World Yo-Yo Champion, out of my reach for now. But getting through to the final rounds, I knew I could do that. Like, I had done it the year before. In my eyes, every failure of this year, every contest leading up to that point was practice. I didn't just practice that semi-final and preliminary routine, alone in a room, like, you guys should do. Like, I did it on stage in yo-yo contests over and over and over and over again. And then leading up to Worlds, I did a bunch of just solo practice, grinding it through again and again and again. Like, I got to the point where I could literally hit that thing flawlessly. I'm like, yeah, you can have a bad day, but on average, my semi-final routine was cleaner this year than it was last year. This year's Worlds was arguably slightly less competitive as some of the really good players from Asia weren't there. Like, in my eyes, I did everything I could. I followed the strategy. I put 100% into qualifying into that round. And when you fail after doing all of that, that is when you start to learn.
You know what the worst thing is? It's so embarrassing to try so hard at something and like fail completely.
I want to say it's okay, but it's not okay.
I thought I knew what it took to make a viral video until I did my absolute best, and those ideas invariably failed. I thought I knew what a successful career looked like until I dedicated my life to following a conventional 9-to-5, and I realized that I didn't want to do that. And I thought I knew the best way to prepare for a yo-yo contest until it didn't work. True growth begins when you do the best of what you know and you still fail. Because where your best thinking fails is where the old world falls away and there's a new world for you to kind of discover and conquer and inhabit. But most of us, and myself included, we rarely put in enough effort, enough action to just max out our current realm of thinking that we can truly fail. And the fact that I bombed at Worlds is just indicative that there's something that I missed. There's maybe something I don't understand. Maybe there's a way of looking at it that I don't yet know I need to know. Now, I have theories as to where it went wrong and how I can fix it, but that's the topic of another video. So what I'd implore you guys to do is, try have a really solid failure before this year is up. And here's a secret, 95% of the time, if you do exactly what you know you should do, with 110% of the effort, 95% of the time, you won't fail. All right, I got work to do.